So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you all this evening. It's Sunday evening here in the UK, just after 10 o'clock. I do apologise, we're late getting started. I'm not going to make any excuses, except it was all Becky's fault. But then you will probably figure that anyway. So what we're going to do this evening is run through a standard presentation for Wealth Warriors, because I do believe that the message is sinking in slowly. There's some people who've been watching the videos on YouTube, and this is like the 6th or 7th time they've looked at it, and they say, I think I'm beginning to understand it. And that's about average for the course. I would remind everybody again that the first time you look at this, it probably doesn't make sense. You might think it does, but watch it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It took me months and months and months while I was putting this system together before I eventually thought, got it. I now can say I understand what we're doing. So I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to get there. And when it all came together and we ended up with the system we have now, then I was very pleased. So, like I say, it took me a while to understand it, but it all works. It's really, really very solid business, very solid project now, very solid business methodology. I've tested it through many, many different scenarios. I've run some different analysis, some reprocessing on things, and it looks like it is really, really solid. So I'm very pleased about that. So what I'd like us all to do now is to get out there and start spreading the word about the fact that we have Wealth Warriors and how solid it is. And the reason we need to be solid is because this is a program or a project where we can avoid being scammed in the future. We can afford losing our money in the future. We can avoid losing our friends in the future, which means that we can then start working towards a great financial future, because we don't have to worry about rug pulls and getting pulled back down to the bottom of the playing board. You start again on square one. We can actually build something, and if something does go wrong, and I'm not saying things won't go wrong in the future, but it will have limited damage, and then we can carry on building on what we have that's already working. So I'm going to share a presentation with you that will explain a little bit more detail. And like I say, if this is the first, second, third, fourth time you've watched this, watch it again with an open mind, see what you've missed before, try and see what you've missed before. Try to get your head around the main objectives, okay? And that's I go through 7 main benefits in a minute. And certainly the first 3 or 4 of those main benefits are what we're trying to achieve. So hopefully you'll get the hang of this fairly soon. And then, of course, the second part of the project is to share the word, spread the word, spread the gospel, because we want everybody in the world to join us here at Wealth Warriors. Because if there's one place on earth where people can build their financial future safely and securely, this is it. So we want to, it's all very well roping people into all these other businesses and platforms and so on. Okay. We also want to be getting them into this because it's safe, it's secure, it's going to allow them to grow, develop their business, not only their own personal wealth, but generational wealth. And by that, I mean enough money that their children and their grandchildren have something to argue over. Okay. Is enough money and enough money being generated by systems and businesses that it lasts for generations on into the future. The big problem that, the landed gentry have had for throughout all of history is that you get one person who knows how to create the wealth. He teaches his children how to create the wealth, and so when he passes on his assets, it all gets looked after by the second generation. But the second generation have got no real life experience, so they've been unable to pass it on to the third generation, the fourth generation, and the fifth generation. And of course, subsequent generations lose all of that money, lose all the business, lose all the assets. And it happens so many times, it's almost legendary. So what we're looking at here is a system we can pass on to our children, our children's children, and so on, so that even if they don't want to get involved in the things you're involved in, the systems will be in place and the money will still be generated to take care of their financial needs for many, many generations to come. So that's what I mean by generational wealth. Personal wealth is what you get for yourself, what you can generate for yourself, however much you need, whether you need a few tens of thousands a month or a few million a month, whatever you need, you can generate it from this system. So let's have a quick look at the standard presentation I'll share my screen and I'll get through it as quickly as I can. But if you've got any questions, then either put them in the comments below the video, or if you're here on the call, and I do appreciate you guys being here on the call with me, then we can have a question and answer session at the end. So welcome to Wealth Warriors, Financial Freedom Fighters. I like that. It's a space battle. We're the small guys. We're the rebels. We're fighting against the enormous powers that control the world, literally control the world's finances, that don't want us to succeed in the online space. They've managed to keep us down so far. There are so few multi-millionaires and billionaires created from doing things, running businesses on the internet. There should be so many more. There should be many thousands of times more than there actually are. Okay, but there are forces marshaled against us to stop us from creating our own personal wealth. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to say that's how I see us. We're the rebels in the jungle, sneaking around, causing havoc wherever we can, trying to free the people and take back what's rightfully ours. So disclaimer very quickly, nothing in this presentation is financial advice or investment advice. Wealth Warriors is not an investment platform. We're a community. This is the first thing we do to differentiate ourselves from everything else out there. Is we are not an investment platform. We're a community. Okay, so you can't pay to join Wealth Warriors. You just if you do the things the Wealth Warriors system requires of you, you are a Wealth Warrior. It's as simple as that. And if you don't, then you're not. If you do decide to invest in any of the platforms, just be sensible about it. Don't spend lots and lots of money on something that has no guarantee. And secondly, none of it has any guarantee. Even the platforms that I'm going to tell you about later today, there are no guarantees. The whole system that we've set up for Wealth Warriors is because there are no guarantees. So don't get off of this call and say, brilliant, I love that platform. I'm gonna cash in some of my 401k, I'm gonna cash in some of my pension fund, and I'm gonna put tens of thousands of dollars into something. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Only spend money you can comfortably afford to lose. It shouldn't be a disaster. If one of the platforms that we're supporting goes bust, it shouldn't be a disaster for you. It should be an annoyance. Okay, a minor inconvenience. It shouldn't be something where you think, oh no, now I've got to, go back to work after being retired for 5 years, or we can't have that family holiday next year. Shouldn't affect you to that degree. Okay, so don't get greedy. We have plenty of time to start small and build big. In whichever platform you get involved, I would suggest you have a strategy to recoup your initial investment as soon as possible and create a large income over time. Okay, you haven't got to do that. I don't do that with every platform, but I advocate that people do that. There are just too many scams out there. So what's the problem with online businesses? That's it. There are just too many scams. This last week, I've looked at probably about another 20 different businesses. Every single one of them scam. None of the people that tried to introduce me to them wanted to hear that they're a scam. See, that's the point. I was looking at one today where this guy says, "Oh, you get you put some money in and you get back 50% returns within 24 hours. So you get your money back. So you put $1,000 in, you get $1,500 by tomorrow." And I'm saying it's a scam. Nobody can produce that sort of income from Forex trading. And he said, why not? So, well, for one, today's a Sunday. Yesterday was a Saturday. So if they told you you made 50% on Forex yesterday, they were lying. Okay. It's just a scam. Okay. And he didn't like it because, he likes early getting 50% a day. Who doesn't? If only it were true. Those businesses aren't scams, and so poorly run, they go bust. So that's another problem with online businesses. Sometimes you look at a business and you can see it's legitimate. There's a CEO, a management team, there's startup capital, everything else going for it. They're so badly run that within 3 months, 6 months, it's gone. Okay, that gives everybody a bad name. They didn't mean to do it. They just didn't know what they were doing. So, people say to me, well, I've been working with this company that's been around for a year. Fine, bring them back when they've been working for 5 years, Those businesses aren't scams and don't go bust, get shut down by regulators and government departments. Governments love to control how, where we can make our money. They really don't want us to make money online in online businesses. They want us to earn our money through their systems where they can steal money from us in the form of taxation. Okay, so anything that is happening online they don't like the look of, they shut it down. And just to prove they're not on our side, they don't give us our money back. After they've seized all the assets of the company, they don't give us our money back. And it doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses, you cannot become truly free, financially free, time free, and free from controls of rules, regulations, legislation, etc. ad infinitum. Well, pay attention, because tonight I'm going to show you how you can become financially free, time free, and free from government control wherever you live. So what can we do about it? There are all the problems. What can we do about it? Well, individually, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past, because individually, as in we're isolated, how can we learn? How can we have new ideas and new thoughts if we're not interacting with other people? So individually, nothing changes. We just keep doing, we're a rat on the treadmill. We just keep going around the same old path week after week, year after year. So because there's nothing for us to learn. You can't solve the problem with the thinking that created the problem in the first place. Collectively, we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls. And I say most of us because sometimes we have to be in these platforms before we figure out that they're no good. And, I lose more money than anybody because I'm the first one in. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody else if I'm not in it and tried and tested it myself. So a lot of times you can't get past you can analyze it, but you can't actually figure out what's going on until you get in and part with some money. And then when we roll it out to a few people. And at that point, that's when we normally figure out it's a scam or it's not quite what we wanted or whatever. So between me and half a dozen people, we lose a little bit of money. But what that means is the rest of the community don't lose money. I don't think we can figure out a way of avoiding all of the pitfalls of the industry for everyone, but that's a small price to pay compared to the prices we used to pay. Who would want to be the first one to cross the minefield, or would you rather follow someone that's already crossed safely? Okay, that's me. I'm the first one across the minefield normally. We're safer together. And this isn't a natural correlation. You may not figure this out, but if you think about it, it makes sense. If we can put our money into something that's safe, that's not going to go bust, then we have time. We have time to build up slowly, add a bit more here, reinvest some of our capital, withdraw some of our profits, reinvest some of our profits, whatever we want to do. Okay, but we have time. If it takes us 4 or 5 years to see that grow to fruition, as long as we have the safety, as long as that platform is going to survive that long, then we have the time to start small and build big. That's the whole basis of what we're trying to do. Not get in and we're not going to be rich by next week. It's going to take at least a couple of weeks to get rich. No, it's going to take time. But we have time. If we do this right, we have time. The other thing we can do is develop a plan and follow that plan to become truly free. I often talk to friends of mine and I say, you're in this platform and I notice you're doing this, you're reinvesting at this level, you're withdrawing at this level. That's great. Well done. Keep doing it. It takes discipline to do that when that reinvestment is only $10 a week, or the withdrawal is only $20 a week. But keep doing it. Have the discipline to keep doing that, because that's your plan. And if you follow that plan and keep following that plan, then in 3 years' time, it's not going to be $10 a week. It's going to be $10,000 a week. You're going to be withdrawing. You're going to be reinvesting $20,000 a week. Okay, so have the plan, stick to the plan, and you will become truly free. So what are the benefits? This is where the rubber hits the road. Or, yeah, why not? Give me a second. That's it. I'm all charged up on caffeine now. So benefits, what are the benefits? This is the reason why we're doing it. This is the whole point of why we're doing this. Benefit 1, your growing income is protected from rug pulls. If you get involved with Wealth Warriors, if you do everything I'm teaching you to do, if you stick with the plan that we've worked out, your growing income is protected. That doesn't mean there won't ever be another rug pull, but what it means is you won't lose everything. You won't get reset back to zero. And I'm going to show you an illustration in a minute that will point that out. You'll be able to see that quite clearly. Benefit 2, your team is loyal and committed to you. You might not think that's a big benefit. That's the second biggest benefit that you can have, because if you have a team that is loyal and committed to you, there's nothing you can't do in the world of online business, in the world of multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, whatever it is. If you have a team that's loyal and committed to you, that follows you wherever you lead, that's worth its weight in gold, because then you can succeed regardless of the platform you get involved with. Benefit 3, protect your permanent network of friends and family. How many times have we done this and seen it and had people moan to us about it, where they get involved in something and they're encouraged to bring everybody in, okay, then we all bring in everybody, our friends, our brother, sister, our aunties, uncles, our next door neighbor, the guy we work with, okay, and all of a sudden we realize that we shouldn't have done that because the business has gone bust, or is not good enough, or they've made some mistakes in the business, or it was a scam in the first place, okay. And so we lose our friends, we lose that relationship with our family, our work colleagues, and so on. Now, what I refer to those people as your permanent network, because you get them involved in Wealth Warriors with you, and they will never experience that. They may experience the fact they lose a little bit of money in one platform, but they'll never have the experience of everything goes kaput, they get reset back to zero. They realize that you don't know what you're talking about, and they eventually grow resentful of you and end up, avoiding you, stop sending you Christmas cards, okay? What we do is we take those people that trust you and get involved in something with you, and they become your permanent network of friends and family. And those bonds that get stronger and stronger with every platform that we develop, with every dollar you help them earn, those friends, those bonds of trust and respect grow stronger. So you have this permanent network that becomes an asset worth its weight in gold. Benefit 4, you can build you can build a future business much faster with far more profit. And again, I'm going to show you this in this illustration coming up. Okay, but just how would you like to start a brand new platform that takes your fancy? You say, this is great, I can see that we can make some money at this. Okay, and on day one, you've got 100 people that just follow your lead and sign up in that business. That would be great, wouldn't it? Why not 1,000 people? Why not 10,000 people? If you build Wealth Warriors properly, according to the rules, then you will have future businesses being generated or generate money for you just so quick. You won't even, you'll get people just stand back and say, how did you do that so quickly? And it's a system. It's not chance, it's not luck, it's a system. Benefit 5, build one business and grow all 4 businesses. One of the things about this industry is there's never enough time or energy to do everything you want to do. So if you want to build 4 platforms, you probably haven't got time to build 4 platforms, plus have a family life, plus have a work life, do all the other things you want to do. So why not just build one business? But when you introduce those people to Wealth Warriors, you also have people from that one business get into all of your other businesses, in this case, 4 businesses. Okay, that would be a great benefit, wouldn't it? That's not guaranteed, but that's a benefit. And it's certainly one that is definitely achievable and realistic. Benefit 6, reclaim lost money and recent expenditure. Now that sounds great. How many of us have lost money over the years? How many of us have spent money that we didn't need to spend? Okay, and we can get back all of that lost money and money that we've paid for things over the years: mortgages, vehicles, loans, even just holiday money. How would you like to claim back all of the money you've ever paid out for every mortgage you've ever had in your whole life? Okay, why not? So I can show you how to do that. Number 7, benefit 7, become wealthy and live an abundant life. Now, all of these are concrete benefits that you can achieve with Wealth Warriors, but you won't do it. If you only do Wealth Warriors half-heartedly, then you won't get that. If you only do it 90%, you won't get it. If you do 95%, you won't get all these benefits. 100% Wealth Warriors, you will get all of those benefits. So let's have a look at how it works. These are the assumptions for this illustration I'm about to give you. Imagine we deal with 4 platforms, and coincidentally, we do at the moment, but one is on the way out, and we're going to be replacing it with another one shortly. And imagine you have 10 people in all 4 platforms. So you're making $1,000 per month in each of the 4 platforms. Therefore, your total income is $4,000 per month. Let's have a look at what that looks like. This is you, and you've introduced Alan. Alan's introduced all the A's. Bella's introduced all of the B's, and you've introduced Chris, who's introduced all of the C's. So you've got 10 people in your business, and because of that volume, or the volume created by that size business, you're making $1,000 per month. Again, it doesn't matter what the business is. It's got to have certain criteria. We'll cover that in a minute. So let's move that out of the way so we can bring in platform 3. No, the other one, platform 2. So we also have platform 2, and what we've done very cleverly is you've introduced Alan, who's introduced all the A's, and you've introduced Betty, who's introduced all the B's, and you've introduced Chris, who's introduced all the C's. So everybody's in exactly the same position in both platforms. So let's move that out of the way to make room for platform 3. And exactly the same thing here. Everybody's in exactly the same position as they were in platforms 1 and 2. Now your income is $3,000 per month. Let's move that out of the way so we can bring in platform 4. So you have you've got 4 platforms. They're all doing different things, but these 4 people, so these 10 people are in all 4 platforms in exactly the same position. So your income is $4,000 per month. And so we run like that for a few weeks, a few months, possibly even a few years. Let's say we've chosen these platforms well, and on all 4 platforms are working well for a number of years. Okay, and I'm sure you can see that of those 10 people, somebody might bring in an extra person here or an extra person there. Okay, and they get signed up in all 4 platforms. Maybe not on day 1, but over a short period of time, a new person in any of those platforms will be added to all 3 of the other platforms. So your income's $4,000 per month. So let's assume it hasn't increased at all. But now something happens with platform 4. Maybe the government changed the regulations. Maybe the person running that business dies and there was no proper succession plan. Maybe they get caught up with by the tax man. Who knows what's going to happen to them? It doesn't matter. Something happens to platform 4 and it's gone. And your income has dropped all the way to $3,000 per month. But how many of these people that are still in your permanent network, how many of them hate you now because they've lost one of the 4 platforms? None of them, because you're all in the same 3 platforms together. Okay, how many of them have lost all of their money? None of them, because they're all in all 3 platforms. Okay, so what we do then is as the leader of Wealth Warriors, if you like, the chief, I go out and find platform 5. And when we find platform 5, we sign everybody up in platform 5 in exactly the same positions as they were in the other 3 platforms. And so now your income goes up to $4,000 per month. And so we run like that for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, maybe. We don't know. But that's kind of the principle of how it works. We can add platforms 6, 7, and 8. I think there's a limit of about 6 or 7 platforms. I think we start to dilute too much if we get involved in too many platforms. But certainly 5 or 6 wouldn't be stretching it too much. And also, so your money will grow because we have a new platform. Your money will also grow because you bring in some new people and sign them up in all 4 platforms, and also other people bring people in and they sign them up in all 4 platforms. So all in all, we're a tight-knit community that's all growing together. We're growing good and solid because nobody's losing. Even if a platform fails, nobody loses everything. And even if the platform fails, nobody has upset their friends. So that's what I mean by you've got to be on board with all of Wealth Warriors, not a little bit, because imagine you're only involved in platform 4. When platform 4 failed, you've lost all of your money. Why would you put yourself in that position when there's so much that you could do by following the rules of Wealth Warriors? So that's the illustration of how it works. And I'm sure you can see that's a very powerful system. So now here's the downside. The downside is there are rules involved. If you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. The rules are, number one, don't sign up in any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, Wealth Warriors will adopt it at some point. Okay, so you might say, well, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to do my own thing. So you go out there and you sign up in something, and then maybe introduce a few of your permanent network elsewhere, and then you say, and then Wealth Warriors adopts that same platform. So now you've got a choice. Do you quit what you're doing in your old positions with that new platform and sign up where you should in Wealth Warriors, or are you just sort of doing your own thing with that platform, which isn't fair to the people in Wealth Warriors who have relied on you to be their leader to help them? Or, what do you do? It's causing you problems now. And if all of your people go out and just sign up in any platforms they feel like it, without asking you what's happening, then you're not going to have a community. This whole thing falls apart in your corner of the world. It won't fall apart for everybody else, because everybody else is not signing up in other platforms. Okay, everybody else is following the rules. Everybody else is having the advantages and the benefits of being part of Wealth Warriors. You see, what we've got to do is come away from this idea that we've got to be the first ones in. We've got to mad scrabble to get to the top of the tree. Where's that ever gotten anybody? It doesn't. It doesn't work. That's not where you make the most money. You make the most money by having a good, solid, permanent network of people that follow you into all the platforms that are going to make them money. So if you run off and get top of the tree in some brand new venture, great, well done, good for you. You've just destroyed everything you've tried to create in Wealth Warriors. So well done, good job. Okay, and people think they look at this and they think there's some ulterior motive why I'm saying don't sign up in any other platform. Okay, the ulterior motive is because you want to build a large business that's going to produce you income, generational wealth for the rest of your life and your children's lives. Okay, so do you forego that? Do you give all that up because you just want to be the first one to get into some other platform? Well, that's fine. Do that then. Okay, but you can't do both. You're either loyal to Wealth Warriors or you do things that cause your bit of Wealth Warriors to fall apart. And I'm trying not to be dictatorial about it, but I have seen this. I've seen this, and it breaks my heart that one person made a decision on behalf of about 20 people that are now out there in the wilderness signing up in any other platform they think is good, and it breaks my heart, to be honest. But there we go. It's not my decision to make; it's yours. So the second rule is do sign up in all the platforms we adopt. You haven't got to do it immediately. You get involved in one platform and then you get introduced to Wealth Warriors and you like the sound of it. And then you say, okay, well, I want to do this Wealth Warriors thing. So at that point, then start signing up in all the other platforms and have about 25% of your investment capital in each of the 4 platforms. Okay. Do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. And again, when you introduce somebody in another platform, bring them along to Wealth Warriors. Say, this is what we're doing. It would be good for you if you did this as well. Okay, because that's where your strength is. That's where your future is. That's where your big money is. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same. And do support your own people by learning about the platforms we adopt. You haven't got to know everything about all of the platforms, but know when the Zoom calls are, know the basics of how to make a deposit, how to make a withdrawal, how to fund an account, or whatever it is you need to do. Okay.
I should eat now and then go walk.
So, know where the support channels are in Telegram and in Facebook and whatever else. Okay, so do support people. Make sure they've got access to the company for each of those platforms. So why do we worry about the rules? Because you want the benefits. If you don't want the benefits, then then you don't need any rules. You don't need anything. If you're not worried about the benefits, you don't need anything. Therefore, you must follow the rules if you want the benefits. The rules are to ensure that you get security of income and build your permanent network and become wealthy and live an abundant life. And I assure you that you will have all of those things. If you follow the rules of Wealth Warriors, you will have all of those things. You'll also miss out on all the drama associated with the latest scam or failed business or rug pull. And I apologise because I know some of you guys like that sort of drama in the chat rooms. Let's go and hang the guy. Let's report him to the SEC. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go and kick his dog. Okay, so unfortunately, you won't get any of all that drama. That'll all be gone, a thing of the past. So I apologise in advance for that. Being community-centric. And this is, sorry, let me just explain something else. And that is, I've had a lot of big leaders, big networking leaders contact me and say, can you teach me how to do with my group what you're doing with Wealth Warriors? Okay. And when I sit and talk to them, they don't understand. There are a couple of things they don't understand. One is that I tell them about this thing about not signing up and don't let your people sign up in just any old platform because that will, and they say, well, I can't tell people that. Oh, And the second thing is, I talk to people about being community centric, and they say, oh yeah, we always put people first. And no, don't put people first, put the community first. Sometimes you have to get rid of some people because you're protecting the community. You put the community first, not yourself. And then when I ask them a few questions, it turns out they're not putting the community first at all. They're putting themselves first. And it's quite obvious from the answers they give me that they're they're not putting the community first, they're putting themselves first. So the point is, you can't do both. Either you put the community first or you put yourself first. You can't do both. It's as simple as that. Remember, platforms come and go, but the community survives. And again, this is what I tell people, is you go and sign up on all these other weird and wonderful things. They'll all be gone one day. But what will you have to show for it? What have you got to show for it now, for the last 10 that went pop on you? Yeah, nothing. So, and you can be a part of Wealth Warriors if you follow the rules. Now, that's not me being a dictator saying, if you don't follow the rules, I'm going to kick you out. No, if you don't follow the rules, you won't be a Wealth Warrior, you won't have the benefits. And why waste your time? Why waste your time? If you're happy running around the countryside, signing up for everything, do it. Okay, this is for people who want to take a different approach to building these online businesses so that they can have a realistic income, a realistic asset, a realistic chance at personal and generational wealth. So if somebody wants that, then it's on offer. And if they want to do something else, then they can't have both. They can't do both. So we adopt platforms. I'm not going to go through it in too much detail because I've spent quite a lot of time talking about other things just now. But there are some criteria. It must be available everywhere in the world. It must have a unilevel compensation plan. People must be able to join for free or a very low entry cost. And the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means we can maintain the lines of sponsorship across all platforms. If we don't have those first 3 things, then it's hard to maintain lines. In fact, I'd say impossible. If we get involved in a binary, for example, then we can't maintain lines of sponsorship. Number 4 must be based on real-world applications. So it's got to be a real company doing real things in the real world, making real money from its real-world activities. None of this ROI scams and you put some money in the pot today and I'll give you 50% extra tomorrow. That's rubbish. That's not real business. We must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in those real world activities. And if possible, we must be able to meet the CEO. And the compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. Okay. Number 8, the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. So we avoid gaming, gambling, money lending. There's so many things that we avoid. I don't even look at because I know that a lot of people in the Wealth Warriors community now, and also those that are going to come into the community, won't want to get involved in gambling and gaming and things like that. So therefore, we avoid it. It'll save us problems down the road. So Wealth Warriors has 4 platforms at the moment. Okay, and I'm not going to go into fractional 3D. I'm just going to skip through it. And the reason is because it looks like at the moment we're going to be losing connection with fractional 3D. They're changing the rules. They're changing the operational parameters under which they have worked out our compensation. And if they go through with their plans, then I won't be recommending that or I'll be recommending, in fact, that we disassociate from them, cash in our chips, if you like, get our money out as soon as we can, which for some of us will be 6 or 8 months' time, but eventually get all of our money out and go and put it into another platform. And part of the reason is, one, I'm looking out for everybody else. Two is if they've changed the operational parameters around the compensation plan, if they've done it once, they can do it again. This is kind of what we were being offered before, which is to 4x your money every year. And if it goes below that, then I don't believe it's worthwhile doing. So we won't talk about fractional 3D. Wealth Warriors trade like crazy. Okay, TLC is a system that it's a trading system, real world trading. There's a real company with real traders. They're actually putting money into the real world exchanges. They have a team of 20 traders, and you can verify all of the trades through Bybit. The average monthly earnings over the last 12 months is around 15 to 30%. A little bit concerning that that's dropped a little bit. It's typically been around 0.7%, but it's down to it's dropping down to 0.6%. The other day it was 0.5%, but I think that was for a Saturday where we don't trade Forex on a Saturday, only cryptos, and on Sunday there's no trading at all. So typically about 20% per month is what I've seen in my account since I've been with them for the last 4 months. You can buy a package for up to $20, sorry, $20 up to 100,000. So 20, 50, 100, 250, and so on, up to $100,000. And you get, that package, as soon as you purchased it, it starts earning money for you. And that package is complete when you've got back 3 times what you invested for it. So if you put $20 in, when you get $60 back, that package is finished. If you put $100,000 in, when you get $300,000 back, that package is finished. There is a program, if you like, a set of criteria where you can up that to 4x. So therefore, it would be you put $100,000 in and you earn until you got $400,000, and then the package is gone. You can withdraw your profit every day or reinvest some or all profit. And what I do is I withdraw $100 as soon as it's available, and then the next $100 I buy another $100 package to so that I build up my that I have more and more packages. And I'll show you that on a spreadsheet in just a second. So that's my version of compounding. It's not really compounding, so please no accountants or mathematicians get onto me and say, that's not really how compounding works. No, it's not. But by compounding, I mean, I'm using some of my profits to generate, to buy more assets to earn more profit. Okay, so yes, you're right, it's not really compounding, but the money spends just as good as if it was. Compensation plan for introducing others goes down 15 levels, and there's matching bonuses from 5 levels. So all in all, you get in, you start introducing a few people. You haven't got to, by the way, you can just run this as a passive business, get in, buy a few packages, earn your profit, reinvest some, take some out to spend, whatever. But you can also introduce people and you get compensation down 15 levels, you get matching bonuses from 15 levels. And when you hit certain rank criteria, you can qualify for iPhones, MacBooks, Rolex watches, cars. There's one's a nice Audi RS, one's a Lamborghini. And if you don't want those things, then you can just take the cash equivalent. So the MacBook is $3,000. The watches are $20,000 or $30,000. The cars are I think 120,000 or 350,000. It doesn't really matter what, I may have got the figure slightly wrong. That doesn't matter. What's important is that these are extra things that you get for something you were going to do anyway, which is basically build a big business to make a lot of money. And so you get these free things on top. So that's Trade Like Crazy. I'm just going to quickly share a spreadsheet with you. And this is Trade Like Crazy. So I've considered two different scenarios. One is where you put $1,000 in, and in fact, it could be, these are all the different packages. Okay, so I've selected 1,000. But this strategy is to make a deposit and let it run for 2 years, and every time the plan matures, buy more plans with all of your profit. So that's the strategy. So every time the plan matures, so I put $1,000 in, and when that, and I keep earning about 4.5% per week, roughly. I'd say that's about right. When I get my money back at $3,000 here, I then, or 3,005, so then I just put back in $3,000. And then when I get to $9,000, because it's just 3 times my money, I get to $9,016. So I put back in $9,000. So at the end of the first year, I've got 983% on my $1,000. By the end of the second year, I've got 9,659%. I've turned $1,000 into $96,000 in 2 years. Okay, now I've not taken any money out. I've just, every time a plan matures, I take that money and buy another plan for the same, or another package for the same value. Hopefully that makes sense. Another strategy that I've worked on is this one. This strategy is every time you accrue enough money, purchase as many new plans as you can get for your money. So in this case, I put $1,000 in. By the end of the first week, I've got $1,045, which means I have enough money. I can buy 2 $20 packages. So now my profit is $53.83. By the end of the second week now, I've got $1,098. So I can buy a $50 package. Okay, so now I'm making 55, 52, and so on. So every single week I can buy more packages. And these are all combinations. So for the 70, for example, is probably a package of 50 and one of 20. And that's probably a 50, sorry, that's probably 3 lots of 20. And that one will be a 50 and 2 20s. And this would be a straight $100 package. Okay, so I'm doing that every single week. As soon as I can afford a new package, I buy a new package. What that means is at the end of year 1, I've turned my $1,000 into $11,000, and I've got 1,168% return on investment. By the end of year 2, I've turned my $1,000 into $127,000, which is a return on investment of 12,729%. Not even Nancy Pelosi is getting 12,729% per for 2 years investments. Sorry, did that sound political? Wasn't meant to. I'm just saying, not even the best investors in the world are doing anywhere near that. Okay, so this is a little reckoner, if you like, that I've used to keep track of my own account. And so these are the different packages that I could buy. At the moment, my portfolio consists of 2 at $20, 4 at $50, 18 at $100, and 2 at $250. And the rest are all going to be $100 packages because that's all I ever deal with now. I only ever save up my money to get to a $100 package and then buy another $100 package. So now my portfolio is worth $2,540. Okay, so that's how much the value of all my packages are. So my daily income is about $17. I started off with $250, and I followed a combination of the 2 original strategies that I talked about just now. And now my $250 has turned into $2,540. So that's 10 times the amount of money. But I've also taken out somewhere in the region of $2,000 in withdrawals. I should really post the withdrawals here, shouldn't I, at some point? So that's just to give you an idea of how this is working for me. I've introduced a number of people. Some people have, some people haven't. It doesn't matter. But this would work just as well for if I hadn't introduced anybody. except the numbers will be a little bit lower, I guess. So this means every 5 days, 5.5 days, I can every 5.5 days I can buy another $100 package, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. Okay, let's use the right button now for the presentation. That's just to make sure you're all awake. Okay, so that's Trade Like Crazy. The third one is called, the third platform that we have is called Matrix Freedom. And Matrix Freedom is different from anything you've seen before. It's not really a business of the type that we're used to in the online business space. It's basically about getting involved in the freedom movement. And when you get involved in the freedom movement, you have the ability to claim back money that you've spent on things in the past that you didn't need to spend money on, such as mortgages. So the company has created a roadmap to freedom. What I'd recommend is sign up for free as a member. If you don't want to do anything else with Matrix Freedom, sign up for free as a member. And then what you want to do is, if you want to turn this into a business, then sign up as an affiliate and or a network originator. I'm not going to go into that in any more detail. If you want to go ahead and become a paid member, then you initially pay to recoup your checking account or your current account for 2022. For a personal account, it costs £1,000, sorry, and for a business, a personal business account, it costs £2,000. For that, you get back everything you spent, every single thing that went out of that checking account or current account in the year 2022. I've just claimed back 2 of my businesses, a personal one and a business account, and mine totals about $168,000. Okay, which totally amazed me, but it did. So there we go. I suggest it's worth it. If you're definitely going to get back more than $10,000 from every single account, and if it costs you $1,000 to get back 10,000, I'd say that's worth it. So as soon as we've recouped the 2022 money, then we'll put our application in for the 2023 money, and then every year afterwards, at the beginning of the next year, we'll claim back the year before. So in January 2025, we'll start recouping the 2024 outgoings from our accounts. And people say, well, what if I spent the money on this? What if I spent the money on that? It doesn't matter. If it went out of your checking account or went out of your current account, then you claim it back. You could have written a check for cash. You could have written a check for a holiday. You could have bought a new car. It could be your mortgage payments. It could have been money you used to buy food. It doesn't matter. If it went out of your account, you claim it back. Okay. So and then what you do is, there are lots of other things within Freedom Matrix. So in Matrix Freedom, you can do to recoup, loans, mortgages, and so on and so forth. So once you've got your initial money back for your initial bank accounts, you use that money then to pay for the other things that you want, like, for example, claiming back mortgages. Over the years, I've had over £500,000 worth of mortgages. Okay, so it will cost me, I think, £6,000 to put in the application for that, to claim that back. So I will have the money for that when I get it back from my current accounts. Okay, so that's kind of the way that we do this. Later, if you want to, you can start creating new currency, as much new currency as you want, as long as you can prove it's for your own benefit. So, for example, you want a new house, a new car, a new yacht. As long as it's for your use, then you can generate that currency that you need with no difficulty at all. You can also move further down the road of the freedom movement and become a citizen of the universe, if you like, citizen of the world, where you get your own passport and diplomatic immunity with that passport as a citizen of the world, rather than a citizen of the particular country or state where you live. So you can have all of the benefits of living where you do, and also all the benefits of being a free person, where you're not paying taxes, you're not constrained by the rules and regulations that your local government makes up for you. Okay, so there's that. There's a lot more to that story than I've gone through there, but that's some of the benefits. The fourth one we've got is called BitHarvest, and BitHarvest is a tremendous business. It basically means that we get paid in Bitcoin every single day. So what we do is we buy a device called a BitBooster, and the company hosts our BitBoosters for us. So we never have to worry about it. We pay $1,000. They take a BitBooster out of the box. They add the serial number from the BitBooster to your account with them. Okay, so there's now an association between you, your account, and that device. Then they go and put that device in a booster farm. It's called a booster farm, and your device gets to work the very next day, helping Bitcoin miners mine more Bitcoin. Okay, and in return, you get paid in Bitcoin every single day. So you can buy one BitBooster for $1,000, or you can buy just shares of a BitBooster in 10% lots, 10% allotments for $100 each. And it's a one-off payment. It's not like some of these other ones I've shown you. When you've got 3 times your money back, you have to then buy another package, that sort of thing. Not with this. You buy it once, and as long as it's working, it keeps on working, producing Bitcoin for you every single day. And they've got a 5-year warranty. So if it breaks down before that 5 years, then the company just, probably don't even find out about it. The company just unpacks another BitBooster, goes to the farm and installs it for you. Okay, so you probably won't even notice it. You can buy as many as you want. Some people have bought hundreds of these. Some people have bought dozens of them. Okay, and you haven't got to buy it all in one go. You can buy one now and one in a few weeks' time. Buy one for Christmas. Give yourself a Christmas present. One for your birthday, one for your anniversary. Just over a period of time, build up 10, 15, 20 boosters. Because all the time you're earning Bitcoin, that Bitcoin can be saved for the future when Bitcoin is worth a lot more than it is today. BitBoosters enhance miners' profits and work with any mining farm in the world. It's just sign a contract, exchange a couple of lines of code, and it's up and running. Each BitBooster returns $5 to $10 every day in Bitcoin as a passive income. You can earn commissions on sales of BitBoosters in your group. If you want to build a group, that is, you can earn a percentage override of all the Bitcoin mined in your group. So if you've got hundreds of people with hundreds of boosters, you can make a small fortune in Bitcoin from that referral income trickling up to you. And you can buy more BitBoosters or shares to manually compound earnings. There's a lot more to BitHarvest than that. I'm not going to go into it in any more detail, but suffice to say, they're the 4 platforms we have at the moment. But Fractional 3D is kind of on hold at the moment. So make sure you get added to our Telegram group. Just ask your upline, they have the ability to add you. You have the ability to add the people that you introduce. Don't add people to the Telegram group until they are at least signed up in one of the 4 platforms and made a deposit. Okay, we don't give out the details of the Telegram group to just anybody. They've got to actually be in your program. Oh, sorry, let me just very briefly show you the another spreadsheet. Okay, this is a spreadsheet to show you what will happen with the value of Bitcoin produced by these mining machines on into the future. At the moment, we're saying that we receive that much, one BitBooster will make that much Bitcoin per month. We're saying the price of Bitcoin right now is 70,000. We're saying that on the 4th of June, where are we now? Let's say the 16th of June. Okay, so you get to this level on the 16th of June, and we're going to calculate between the 16th of June and the 31st of December 2029, and we're saying that Bitcoin is going to be worth 1.5 million at that date on the 31st of December. So if you just buy one booster, okay, it costs you $1,000 there, but that Bitcoin that's generated, if you don't touch it, don't do anything with it, that Bitcoin will be worth 186,000 on the 31st of December 2029. If Bitcoin goes to a price of 1.5 million. Let's suppose it goes to just 1 million. And there are a lot of people predicting that Bitcoin is going to go up in the next 3 months to 500,000. So 1 million isn't particularly, isn't really a stretch. So that $1,000 has turned into $124,000 in 5 years. Let's suppose you push the boat out and you say, well, I'm going to, I don't know, there is a system. I could introduce you, I could show you a system where you can borrow some money from your 401k. You can borrow $5,000 from your 401k, buy 5 bit boosters, okay, earn enough money back from these boosters that you can take that money within 6 months, put it back into your 401k so there'll be no penalty. And then you've got 5 bit boosters producing $600,000 worth of Bitcoin for you over the next 5 years. And it's cost you nothing because you've taken it out of your 401k and put it back into your 401k from your monthly earnings of 643. So that's 6 months is going to be 3.6. So it'd be at this rate, it would be something like 8 months, still within the year that you need for your 401k. So plenty of time. Okay, but then you've got 5 free boosters producing income for you on into the future. See, this is what you get from working together with me, dare I say, is we come up with different strategies. What can you do to offset the cost of your boosters? You want five boosters? Well, let's talk about where you can get some money from free, as long as you repay it within a year. Let's suppose you sell some of these into your group. Let's not do 1,000, let's do 100. Okay, so you've spent $5,000 to buy 5 boosters for yourself, but you've helped some other people get boosters as well. You've earned $3,375 for doing that, which means your boosters has only cost you $1,625. So you spent just over 1,000, 1,500 to have 1.284 million in your piggy bank in 5 years' time. And what did you do? You just bought 5 for yourself and introduced a few other people to the same system you've got, which is being able to free up their mind to think about creating Bitcoin on into the future. Okay, so we can think about different strategies. It's not just about where am I going to get this money from today. It's how can I do it in such a way that I'm protected. Okay. Also, throughout the 5 years, you get an extra $400 a month. There's Register Wallet here. So all in all, that's a pretty phenomenal deal, I think. But you know, it's up to you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to share with you. Have I done it again? I've done it again. Let's get back to the presentation. So we run a Telegram group. How did I get distracted from that and looking at spreadsheets? We hold the Zoom call every Sunday at 10 o'clock. Attend yourself, bring new people, and make sure they attend. It's a shortcut to fast growth. How would you like all of your people? How would you like a group of 50 people all who have been on the call right now while I'm telling them about their 401k can pay for their boosters and they can have £500,000 worth of Bitcoin in 5 years with no expense out of their pocket right now? Would you like them to have been here to hear me say that? Okay, bring them along. I'll talk to them. And you know, that's not the only strategy I've got. I've got so many different strategies for doing different things with these different platforms. It'll make your head spin. Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. Their schedules published in the Telegram group. Take your people with you. You haven't got to be an expert on all of them. I go to each of the different platforms that I'm not massively keen about. I go at least once a month. The others, I go several times a week. For Freedom Matrix, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. Okay, so people say, well, how do I get started? We sign up as a member. There's a thing there that says, watch this 3.5-minute video. There's also a thing there that says, roadmap to freedom. Click. There's all the things you need to do. That's your roadmap to freedom. Very, very easy to do. So what to do now? Get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you. register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links. Pass those links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation, and make a minimum payment into all the opportunities. If you can't do this, select the project that interests you the most and make minimum payments to get that platform started. You've got to start something. You've got to do something. It's no good saying, well, I'll get around to it later. That's what got us into this mess in the first place, isn't it? So we've got to do something, is all I'm saying. Do something. Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. They should do that automatically, being a good introducer, a good upline, a good mentor, a good friend. They should do that automatically, but if they don't, then just prompt them. Attend a Zoom call or watch the video for each platform you've added your funds to the account. And as we add another platform, make sure to get the referral link from your upline and join as quickly as possible. You don't want it to take 3 months for the new platform to be adopted all the way down through your group. We should be able to get many hundreds of levels down through the group. If everybody's aware that that we've introduced a new platform, everybody should be asking for their new link. Again, it should happen very quickly. So then pass your referral link to existing team and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. Grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to the Wealth Warriors Zoom calls or by sharing this video from YouTube. You see, the other platforms are important. Wealth Warriors is what's going to do it for you. That's what's going to generate your future. You only have to promote the 1 or 2 platforms that you're excited about. Then bring your new members to Wealth Warriors for them to learn why they should sign up in all 4 platforms. Build 1 platform and have 4 or more platforms grow below you. You can get a Wealth Warriors landing page by signing up for a free account with System.io and then importing my funnel and my email campaign from there. You can watch this on the video, but then what you do is go to the email campaign and change my links for your links within the email, the automated emails. There's also a Trade Like Crazy landing page and emails available to subscribe. It costs $19.95 per month. So watch that video and sign up with them if you want to. That's nothing to do with Wealth Warriors. There's also another marketing system called from bitharvestpartner.com. You can order a copy for $99 a month. So $99 one-time fee. And it'll be personalized with your link and they will keep it updated for you. So I think that's an even better deal. So we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. That's what all the rigmarole is about. That's what all the hassle is about. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term. We only work with companies that are above board. We build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's a number of packages, a number of house building robots, whatever it is, okay, we build a large asset and then the asset creates the income, as opposed to us trying to generate our own income. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered, and we apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We're not going to be at the mercy of any one company, any one CEO, any one other system. We set this out, this is what we want, this is what we're going to do. These are the outcomes we want, this is how we're going to achieve them. Okay, and everybody else can do what they like. We're not interested. We're only interested in getting what we want. So it's very selfish, but that's just what we're doing. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Don't share your passwords or other credentials with anyone. Now, this is nothing to do with Wealth Warriors. This is just me advising some people who may not be that savvy about online businesses, may not be that savvy about the internet. Do not share your passwords or other credentials with anyone. If you lose control of your passwords or your two-factor authentication or whatever else it is, all these security measures, then you can lose all of your crypto. So don't do it. Be careful. Be grown up. It's your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility. You can't. It's not like a bank. With a bank, you can go to the bank and say, this person stole the money from my account, and they'll say, we're very sorry. We'll put your money. We'll give you your money back, because they shouldn't have allowed that to happen. With these online opportunities, it's your money. You're the gatekeeper. And if you lose it, it's gone. Okay? Don't come to me and say, oh, well, I was in this platform with you and somebody hacked my platform. There's nothing I can do. It's your responsibility. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts, two-factor authentication. And if you don't know what it is or how to do it, then just Google 2FA. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. If you have a safe, put it in the safe. Make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information, or your power of attorney, whoever it is, your living will. Make sure they have access to this information in the event of your death. Wouldn't it be a shame if you spend a long time building up a nest egg of packages and Bitcoin and whatever else, and something happens to you, and nobody even knows you've got that. Nobody knows how to access it. They don't even know you've got it. And that will happen with a lot of people. They'll have a small fortune in Bitcoin or Ethereum or something, and when something happens to them, nobody even knows they have that money available. So that's it. Welcome to Wealth Warriors. Get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They're ready, willing, and able to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth. That's what we're all about, and they will be there to help you. So I'm going to stop sharing, and we'll go back to the main page. If anybody's got any questions, by all means, I think you can all unmute yourselves if you want to. Come and say hi, but I will stop the presentation. I will stop the recording. So thanks very much, guys. Good to see you all on the call. Same time, same channel next week. I'll post the link. It's the same link every week. So 10 o'clock UK time. I look forward to seeing more and more of you there next week. God bless.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.